Hello, everyone. It's good to see you again and so soon. Um, when I was doing the reading that I just posted about the cosmic womb, during that reading, there were a few things that really were hitting me, in the heart. And one was the king. And while it showed that there were tears for or of or from this king, that there was a bridge. And I know I touched on that just very lightly, um, because the main message I think got through. But it's really been on my heart all day today. And so I decided to come into my office, clear my space, say my prayers, you know, um, put all the cards back, shuffled them up, split the deck, and asked the divine to come in and show us, you know, what I was feeling that I had pushed back in a way in order to get the main message out. And in doing so, I heard, I am raising up a new standard. You are the new standard. I heard you have not been forgotten. Your work has not been in vain. And I know a lot of the messages that have come through this year have been about spirit doing a new thing, right? Bringing in a new day, a new way. And the message that I'm receiving is that you are that new thing. We are that new thing. And the work that we have done has not been in vain. And I'm not talking about the work that we do when we get up and we drive to a job or we log into, you know, a job, something that we get paid for to pay our bills, right? I'm talking about the work that we've done within. A lot of us, a lot of you, anyone who listens to this channel has done a lot of inner work. They have been where others have never been and may never go. A lot of us have been to places angels fear to tread, right? We've seen not only around us, but within ourselves, those dark places. And anyway, I just thought, I'll start to pull a few cards. And of course, I know this isn't showing very well, but the king came out again. And I just love Kim Kranz's decks. Um, they really, really are this, they really are a journey into the self. Um, but I want to just go over these first three cards. The king. Oftentimes we see kings as rulers. We've been shown kings that they rule with like an iron fist, the shadow side of the king. And I feel the message now is to show the light side of the king. So, anyway, the king. If our lives are imagined as a kingdom containing the entire spectrum of human experience, the king resides over it all. Through the lens of the king, we assess the state of our land, make decisions, and rule accordingly. So, this is someone who has gone through that self assessment, who have those who have become self aware, right, of both the dark and the light within. And we have made choices. We have chosen to rise above, to release that which no longer serves, to walk away from relationships with families, with loved ones, with friends, with husbands, wives, children, mothers, fathers. It's been difficult. It's been painful at times. But we have made those choices in faith and in hope, and hopefully in knowing that there was a better day and a better way, one that served the highest good of all those involved, even when that meant walking away, not participating. Right? Not engaging, not becoming active in the shadow. We found the gem with inside the mountain, the value, the true value. And the value and the worth and the sovereignty and the freedom that we find carries us through into manifesting a better life, one that is more kind, loving, caring, compassionate, one that is healing. We have not only had to search out the wounds, we have had to walk with our wounds gaping wide open for everyone to see, carrying a faith and a knowing that we were healing. We had to walk in healing, even though to many it looked like we were dying. And what a lot of those who watched us did not see was the only thing that was dying was the old self, the shadow self, the false beliefs, the pretender, the mask. And in those times, I feel there are many who feel like they have been forgotten in this walk, even some who may recognize the work they've done, the healing that has taken place, the freedom that they have, even those that stand in sovereignty at times can feel like, what's it all been for? I'm the only one here. I'm the only one that sees it. And we become okay with that because it's not about everyone else. It's about what we know within, the purpose that we find, a greater purpose, a deeper purpose in our own lives, in our own manifestations. It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey, for real. Manifesting a higher vibrational life when others can look at us and say, but your life isn't so great. What are you really doing? I don't see anything great about you or it or your life or the people around you or the home you live in. And that's the conundrum, isn't it? Because it doesn't appear on the outside until the work on the inside has been done. So while they were pointing fingers and laughing and scolding or turning their backs and ignoring, we were building kingdoms within us. And those kingdoms have not been forgotten, nor have they been forsaken. Not at all. Because there is a king, a true king within us. And the king must be thoroughly and regularly vetted so as to avoid corruption. Recognize the dual nature of the king. He is either seated in benevolence and strength, guiding you toward peace, or he is oppressing the weak out of a need to control. There is not much middle ground. Some think of the king as the ultimate expression of the ego, and yet the great kings of mythology and history serve from an egoless place. They take their throne with grace and humility, knowing the divine uses them as a channel to heal deep and long-standing discrepancies in the kingdom. This king is a healer, and he's only a healer because he's healed himself within. When he looked like a king without a kingdom, and I feel spirit coming in and saying, you have not been forgotten. Your work has not been in vain. You were being purified. You were being vetted. You were being, I don't like the word groomed, but because it feels so artificial. It's deeper than that. Refined, sharpened for a time such as this. There was a time, God, years ago, it was actually in 2005. And I was given a message that I was to deliver to someone who had been horribly abusive, a predator, a predator, not just of one, but of many. One that seemingly lived his life unscathed. And that message, it really stirred up a lot in me because I was like, I'm finally living my best life. I'm finally happy. I'm finally free of the night terrors and the trauma. And now I'm supposed to deliver a message from the divine to the very one who just seemed to get away with everything, who was still perpetrating his crimes on the innocent. And I was like, you know, like, can't you pick someone else? And that message was to get his kingdom in order. To get his kingdom in order. And little did I know that 9 years later, I would be sitting in a courtroom when the same man, listening to him plead guilty. Sometimes things just don't make sense. Not right away. And I feel that many have had this call, many have received this message or this warning, whichever way you would want to take it, that opportunity to get their kingdom in order, and they chose not to for whatever reason it may have been. But there were a lot of us who did. There are a lot of us who faced the child, who faced the mother, who faced the father, the pages and the knights and the kings and the queens and the emperors and empresses and the priest and high priestess and the magicians. We could go through the entire deck of tarot and so many other cards. We have walked with each one in shadow to find the light being within them, to find the good, to find the kind, to find the value. Many of them we've loved, many of them we've lost. Many of them we hated and had to turn that hate into some semblance of compassion, tolerance, maybe in the beginning, you know? But we did it. We did it. And a lot of us, it has taken decades to get that kingdom in order. And this message today is coming through to say I am raising up a new standard. You are that new standard. Your kingdom is in order and it has not been forgotten. And then this being in the hands of the universe, the raising up of this king was something that no one could control. The building up of the kingdom within us was something that no one could control. It was going to happen. Even if most of us were taken into this space kicking and screaming, it was going to happen. And the only choice we truly had was to go with the flow. As dark and scary as it may have been, we faced those fears. So much so that now we sit today, and when we face our fears, we now have an entire kingdom within us that is in the light. That has our back. We have all the resources we need. We've been building them up and storing them all this time. And Anima Monday in the cosmic womb. This is where that creation is formed. Anima Mundi epitomizes the principle accept all, reject none. And hasn't this king had to do that? Hasn't he had to accept all, dark and light, pain and sorrow, joy and freedom? We've had to embrace it all, rejecting none, none of ourselves. Simply put, it is the living soul of the world in all its multifaceted, multidimensional layers, bonded together by loving cosmic forces. Diversity is celebrated, multiplicity is honored, and nothing is denied embrace. Constructs of separation dissipate into the wonderful mess of shared consciousness. We talk about the collective consciousness. We are all one big collective, as messy as it appears. There is a king within that has a kingdom with everything he needs, that is ready to rise up with a new standard, as a new standard, to show the way. Anima Mundi is the link between the literal and the imaginal, the rational and the mythic. It is the connective fiber that makes life meaningful. This card indicates an initiation on the level of the soul. You will awaken the unique light within and witness how this light contributes to the radiance of the entire universe. You will sense yourself as a critical note in the cosmic orchestra. Destiny is altered as you hear the enchanted melody of all living things. Anima Mundi is the energy behind the World card in the tarot deck. Both carry themes of universal unity, completeness, and embrace. And it is this king that has been through this initiation. There is this initiate. We've been through many initiations. This initiation is the initiation where the king is asked to come forward in wholeness, in completeness, to set that standard, a new standard, which means this is a standard that most do not follow. A new standard is when the king gets up in front of the entire kingdom and says, today we are doing something different. Knowing that half his kingdom, or 75% of his kingdom, or 100% of the kingdom within him could all get whiplash saying, what? What do you mean? This is the way we're doing it now. We can't do things like that. We've never done things like that. May even have a few workers go on strike. I'm talking about the internal us. Those parts of us that have become comfortable with wherever we are, with whatever we're doing. Those parts of us which would rise up and object and say, I can't do that. I can't go there. I can't say that. Maybe it is the people, places, and things around us that rise up and say, you can't. But a king that has done the work to the point of this initiation, of being called out of the shadow, of being told, you have not been forgotten. You have not gone unseen. Your work has not been in vain. For that king, the words you can't become fire. He's the king that says, hold my beer, watch. And he's not in shadow. So it's not arrogance. It's not spite. It's knowing. It's knowing that I have walked these roads so long that I have rebuilt a kingdom within me. I have seen it. I have felt it. I've slept it. I've drank it. I've ate it. I've breathed it in. I have lived it. Let me show you. This is a king that has been vetted. Many of us have been vetted, and that vetting hasn't just been 2 or 3 weeks in front of a Congress. That vetting has been for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years in front of a higher power greater than any person, place, or thing on the face of this earth. We have been vetted by the creator of all things, that source within us that heals, that brings life, that breathes the breath of life into a valley of dry bones and causes the army to rise within. It makes a political vetting look like a birthday party. This is the new standard being raised up. That new standard has been set. It has been sealed. And now it is being called forth. And we are being told, how do I say? How do I say? This is a people. This is a king that has the power and the authority to set captives free. Those who have been captive to the dark within them, those who have been bound by the chains of obsession and addiction and lies and manipulation and deceit. There is a king with a kingdom that has the power and authority to speak, simply speak, and set souls free. To free the captive, to free those in darkness. One who knows how to restore the land because the land within has been restored. This is that rising. We talk about the phoenix rising all the time, and the phoenix will never stop rising. As long as there are ashes, there will be a phoenix rising. And there is a group, a collective, that they have got their kingdoms in order. And they are being called forth not to set a new standard, but to be the new standard. For those who need to see it to believe it. They become an open book with nothing to hide because all their shadows have been transmuted into light. And when I say all their shadows, the healing never stops. For as long as there is light, there will be a shadow. There comes a time, though, where enough of that shadow is healed and transmuted, transcended, that the light that shines so brightly that it is unmistakable. It is seen by many, even when we withdraw it. And this king is being called forth to become the mentor. And it is said that the cosmic knowledge pours down on the world like a great illuminated waterfall. This can be an overwhelming force. The true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the students sip from a focused stream. And this, not sure how much this has to do with that message specifically, but I can tell you that the messages, the ancestors, our passed over loved ones, it's been like a line at my office door for months. The messages never stop. They just keep coming. It's like a flood in this office at times. And it is for me to discern which of those messages come forward. And how do I choose that? It's the ones that touch me deeply. There are so many right now whose worlds are being shaken, whose kingdoms are being divided, separated. All their knights, all their maidens, all their pages are held in captivity in dark corners, and their worlds feel like they're being turned inside out, and it feels like karma just won't stop coming. How do I know? Because I get reading after reading after reading, and I could go through crime logs and family disputes, and so I choose the ones that touch me deeply. Those are the ones I feel make the difference, speak the loudest. So this king has quite the amount of discernment to put into place, because the wisdom and the knowledge and the understanding of your journey and the work that you've done and the healing that has taken place and the hows and the whys could drown the common people. It's that powerful of a transformation. Our light is like a flood. Ooh, confirmation. Let me turn off my little notifications. But our light is truly like a flood. On the earth. But it is a cleansing flood. It is a healing one. So the true teacher, though, is said to be able to hold this flow of wisdom at bay while the student sips from a focused stream. What is your passion? What is the passion you've been able to put your purpose to? That's that focused stream, that creation within you. The one that is ready to be birthed. There's something within each one of us that we have discovered, that we have been nurturing, that we have been preparing to bring out into this world. That is that focus stream. The mentor archetype has a gift for reading the room, for sensing the exact ingredient that will stimulate growth within the student, whether pleasant or painful. The mentor may appear aloof or available, harsh or tender, humorous or rigid. Their gift is to know what serves the soul ultimately. The mentor is in service of the greater cosmic good and aids in the elevation of consciousness. Anytime the mentor forgets this humble link and mistakes themselves for the source of enlightenment, the archetype falls into shadow. There's a part or a portion or a process or a time in healing where we bounce between the shadow and light aspects of the mentor. There are so many who will tear down the broken, humiliate the broken, shame the broken, all in the name of healing, of light, of God, so that they can feel powerful, so that they can receive that pedestal, the attention, the accolades, the awards, the followers. I did a reading a while back about the high priestess and how the true high priestess will step forward and how there are some white teeth, black hearts. They wrap their darkness in the words of light. They can dress like light. They can talk like it. They can walk like it. They can eat like it. And it'll all be done in the name of love. But this king sees, right? This king is like this mentor who knows what serves the soul. It's that discernment. It's the vibration and the tone and the resonance. And this king knows it when he steps in the presence of dark wrapped in light. But there are so many who do not. And there are so many who have bowed down to a false light that looked and sounded like light, that are beginning to recognize. And if they're not recognizing it now, it will become more and more apparent that they have followed a dark high priestess, all in the name of light. And they are going to search and seek and hunt out the true light, the true king, the true mentor. The one who lives the standard, the new standard, one of love and kindness and compassion, one that will lift people up, one that will encourage them to be their brighter selves, their lighter selves. And maybe even some of the garbage pail kids, they'll be getting their kingdoms in order. This message it's like spirit saying, though there was a time when you were ruined or left desolate, when your lands were laid waste, and those times may have seemed dark, right? But now is a time when you're rising, when your light, when your expansion is so great that those desolate places become like small parking spaces, too small. Like spirit is saying, the light within this king has expanded to a place that is greater than where you stand, where you have made yourself comfortable. That place is too small. It is too small. Maybe it's for those of us who have withdrawn from the garbage pail. And we've become comfortable in this space because we've healed and life is good. despite the chaos and the things going on in the world. And maybe there was a small part of us that thought, yeah, I'm good with this. I may have been forgotten, but I can live like this. This is good. And Spirit saying you were never forgotten and you have never been unseen. You've been getting your kingdom in order, and now your kingdom is too big for this space, and we are asking you to come forward with that laser focused stream, that passion within you that has a purpose for a higher good, a higher cause, a lighter way. And those that have oppressed you, and those who continue to oppress and shame and humiliate and mock into seeing their way, it's not going to be a good day. It's not going to be a good day. They're going to be fed with their own deeds, with their own words. It's like so many who have been judged and condemned and held captive have been redeemed through the work that they've done within while spending those long, dark nights of the soul behind the bars of confusion, of distortion. And those bars have been removed. And the night is no longer dark. You spend enough time in the darkness, you develop night vision. Yeah. Let's see what else Spirit has coming through. If there's anything. Yeah. There are some who are spiritually disoriented. They fell prey to the white teeth and the black heart, all in the name of love and light. You pull back that garment that they throw over themselves. You go into that private space, the space they allow only a few to see, and you begin to smell the rot. There are some who walk around cloaked in light, and when you come into their presence, it just stinks. It smells like death because it is. And they hold public platforms. These are the ones that will sell you a dream to financial freedom, to healing, to fortune and fame. But if you were to go sit with them in their own private space, there's no fortune there. If there is, it's been stolen. They'll tell you the easy get rich quick scheme, but they won't tell you that they've lost every dime they've ever had or been given or even stolen from family, from friends, from coworkers. I will show you the way. They won't show you is that there's really nothing to see. It's just all a scheme. And their biggest fear is the fear you faced time and time and time and time again as you got your kingdom in order, as you faced the death of the old self, of that which no longer served. No matter how much you thought you loved it, you let it go. You followed the calling of the heart. Into a rebirth, into a rising. And that is what they fear the most. Truly, absolutely amazing. And the one thing that they never realized is that just because you cannot see the results does not mean it is not happening. Because it all happens within first. So, yeah, it appears to be a sudden blossoming, a sudden growth. It appears sudden. It's funny, we talked about how so many see success as getting to the top of the mountain and that they don't realize that the true gems are in the mountain. But nobody ever really talks about, well, what happens to the one that goes in the mountain and finds the gem? Do they ever come out of the mountain? Yeah, they come out on the top of the mountain. Through the tunnels they dug through it, holding the gems and the value and the worth. So by the time those that are clinging to the side of the mountain as they climb and climb and climb through all the storms and the rain, refusing to even go into a cave for shelter. Imagine the surprise when they arrive at the top and you're standing there with all the gems, with all the value, with all the gold. Because you went within and that tunnel just kept going and going and going until you broke through and saw the light. And when you stepped out, you're on the top of the mountain. All that digging in the dark, most times not knowing which direction you were digging in, it can be very disorienting. There are a lot of tears that are cried in that space. There's a lot of flushing out that goes on, a lot of purifying. There are rivers within those mountains. And while it may have felt like a river, imagine if it's actually a geyser just pushing you through to the top. And all we have to do is fall into its flow and just ride. You've done the hardest work. You've gotten all your knights and your pages and your princesses and queens and kings out of the barroom. You filled your bins with grain. They're filled to overflowing. And no, it wasn't all for nothing. It was for a time such as this. And only you know. Only you know the dream, the creation, the desire, the passion, the purpose that's being called forth. Get ready for your kingdom to expand greater than you ever imagined, because the place you're in right now is too small to hold that kind of light. It's a new standard that has been vetted, that is being raised up. And it's one that many never in a million years imagined you would be. Job well done. Congratulations. Truly. I'll leave it here with this. I feel like that message, part of it, there were a few that came through. But our final little message here is the voice of the heart. I silence the fear in me and discover the voice of my heart. The fruit of these words guides me. I trust the song of my soul. My intuition leads me. My intuition leads me on the path of light. That is the mentor in you. I feel that intuition will not only lead you, but it will lead many as the mentor, because there is a story, there is an experience that was transmuted and purified into gold. And it wasn't for the reason of putting it in a little wooden box where it would be safe. The gold that you are was meant to be seen and heard. So get your creation on. It's time. It's time to show the new way, to show the new standard. I love you guys. Thank you, as always, for being here, for joining me with your energy, for your likes and subscribes. Thank you. It is always an honor and a pleasure. So I will leave you all now in looping waves of love, light, gratitude, and peace.